Hey everyone. As promised, today I'm going to read some snippets from my new crime novel, One Eye Open. This first one sees Linda, one of our main characters, looking for an important witness and being led down to an abandoned holiday park. So, without further ado, let's get going. Linda headed downhill, and a few seconds later was amid the caravans. The place clearly hadn't been used in several years. The caravans themselves sat in orderly rows with narrow shingle passages between them, but they were static structures on crooked legs rather than wheels, their paintwork drab and scaling off, their windows grimy and cracked. Linda moved from one junction to the next, but there was no sign of anyone flitting about. Damn, she breathed. After she'd been wandering like this for several minutes, she dug her phone out. "I'm bringing the car around now," Clive said, breathless. "According to the sat-nav, there's an entrance to that old park on Viewpoint Road. Park across the entrance yet, then come in on foot." "Will do," he said. Not that this felt as if it would help. Assuming the Polish girl was still here, there were any number of spots where she could get out. Irritated, Linda went left and then right, taking turns at random, and heard a dull thud. She halted. A distant wind hissed over the sea, but there was nothing else. She couldn't even hear the rumble of traffic. She pivoted around, trying to work out which direction the noise had come from, settling on a passage which, as far as she could tell, ran roughly north. She ventured along it. The temptation was to shout out and explain her purpose here, but that probably wouldn't yield a result. Junkies caught in possession tended not to trust the word of any copper. Of course, this created a potential additional problem. If the girl was bent on evading custody and she had a couple of syringes with her, these could quickly be turned into weapons, and if they'd already been used. Another thud, this time from behind her. Linda spun around. The caravan looming at her rear was indistinct from most of the others. Once white or cream-coloured, now a yucky brown, moss crabbing its few bits of tarnished metalwork. The inside of the window facing her was so thick with dust that it was virtually opaque. A faint shaft of light was just visible inside, presumably from a skylight, the lumpy shadow of some heavy, shapeless bit of furniture framed against it. A skylight in the roof? Linda's eyes strayed to the caravan's upper parapet as if she expected to find a figure crouching there about to leap down on her. But there was no one. Thinking about those syringes had spooked her, she realised. She glanced at the window again before heading away and saw that the shadow was no longer there. Linda stood rigid before jolting to life and scrambling around the caravan's exterior looking for the door. It was on the far side, still closed, though fragments of moss that had once covered the join between the door and the jamb now hung loose. She called Clive again. "I'm just parking up," he said. "Where are you?" Absurdly, she realised that she couldn't tell him. She'd come a considerable distance into the caravan park, but it wasn't like she could give him directions. "Just make your way in and fast," Linda said. "Keep your ears pinned back." She cut the call and listened again, hearing nothing from the interior. Fitting her gloved fingers around the door's edge, she held her breath and yanked it open. "Anya?" she said. There was no response from the dim, dank interior. "I'm Detective Sergeant Hagen from Essex Police. I know you think you're in trouble, but you're not. I just want to speak to you about someone you may know." The silence lingered, a very complete and profound silence, as if there was no one there. Linda stepped up into the door frame, glancing left and right. Inside, it smelled of mildew and was cluttered with decrepit junk. Old clothes, old furniture, old boxes, everything dense with dust and cobwebs. Crooked passages led left and right. Overhead there was indeed a skylight, though only weak light leaked through thanks to its coat of dirt. "I repeat," she said aloud, "all I need to do is speak to you." Nothing stirred. She peered left, her eyes drawn to what appeared to be a shadowy, upright form. She approached it slowly, the breath tight in her chest. As she did, it resolved itself into a person standing with their back turned. A long oilskin coat covered most of the figure, while what looked like a broad-brimmed wedding hat sat on the head. The backs of two boots were visible below. "Anya, we need to talk." The figure didn't move. "We need to talk about Jill Brooks." Again, nothing. "Look, Anya, you're not in trouble." Linda was now within touching distance. She reached out. "But I'm not playing this childish game." Gently, she tapped the figure's shoulder. It rocked. The coat fell off, revealing a coat stand. Linda stared at it, pink-cheeked, before turning around too quickly, tripping on a divot torn in the rotted carpet and falling backward against the stand which toppled over. With a furious bang, A door flew open a few yards back along the caravan, the door to the lavatory, and a figure, a real one this time, came out in a blur of speed.